Hi, I'm Rebecca from Little Adventure Shop, and in this video I'm going to review the Osprey Poco Premium baby carrier. Okay, so this is the top of the range baby carrier from Osprey. It is coming out in January 2025 and it replaces the Osprey Poco Plus. So let's just start by giving you some of the stats about this, and then I'll talk about fitting it to yourself, and then we'll talk about how your baby fits in and the new features that this carrier's got, and a few other bits and bobs as well. So let's start with who can use this carrier. So anyone from the height of about, I would say about 5'3" up to 6'4" should be fine with this carrier. I'll show you how it adjusts in a minute. In terms of the baby, your baby should be able to sit up by themselves and hold their head unsupported. So this is usually around the age of 6 months, but it varies child to child. But yeah, they should definitely be able to sit up by themselves. And weight, the maximum weight you can take in this carrier. So Osprey don't give you a weight or a height for your child, but what they do say is that the baby carrier, which weighs 3.8 kilos, plus the weight of the child, plus the weight of anything you're carrying extra in the storage compartments, shouldn't exceed 22 kilos. So that's just worth bearing in mind. Again, when your child's little, it's not going to be a problem, but as they get much bigger, you might want to bear that in mind. Okay, so let's start with showing you how your baby carrier will come and how you put it together. Okay, so when you first get your baby carrier, it's going to come looking a bit like this, fully compressed. So just to give you an idea again, the length now will be about 78 centimetres. The width will obviously be very similar, about 39, but you can compress it down now to about 20 centimetres of depth. So yeah, it does compress a fair bit. Right, now what you want to do when you put it together is you want to look at these red buckles here. Basically, red buckles are important. There's two sets of red buckles. You're going to want to put this together. This supports the cockpit. It's quite tricky to get them in. There's a reason for that. They're quite tricky so that your child doesn't find it easy to undo them. But you just want to put that together, and it's not going to go in now, and clip it in. There we go. We've got one on that side. And then there's another one on the other side here. And we're just going to pop that in like that. Just to show you while I've got it here, when you want to release this at the end of the day, it's easier to do it with two hands. You want to push this button in the middle here and then squeeze, and it'll come undone quite easily. But the reason for this is being so tight is that it's not very easy, like I said, for small hands to get undone. Right, so that's the clip stunt, and then I'm simply just going to pull out the stand, and there you go. That will be your baby carrier sort of ready to go. Now let's move on to how you're going to fit it to yourself. So first of all, we look at this harness from this angle. You'll see this sort of almost like trampoline-y type structure. This is the airflow mesh that Osprey have. It's really good for ventilation, so it can get quite hot if you're carrying your baby around for a long time. So you get a lot of ventilation up the back here, which helps keep you cool. They've also got the adjustable harness shoulder straps here. So this is really easy to do. We can, if I just release these straps off at the top, I'll show you the range. So that's the lowest that they'll go, which I said is probably okay for someone about 5'3", 5'4". And then if you want to move it up, all you do is you release this strap, this buckle here, and then just pull them up or push them up. There we go, up as far as they'll go up to here. And then squeeze the buckle back down. It's worth using two hands just to make sure that that's properly closed. So good range on the straps there. I'm just going to drop it down a bit, so I'm going to fit it to myself, so they probably want to be about there. Okay, so now when you come to put the baby carrier on yourself, once you've got the harness shoulder straps to about the right height, you're going to want to sort the waist belt out. Now, the waist belt should be taking the majority of the weight. So got a big buckle here, and then you grab the straps here and you pull forward, and you want these quite nice and tight around the middle of your really on your hip bones here. If this fits me like this quite nicely, but if I was a bit wider, I would want to pull out these extra sort of extendable hip belt fins, which are quite cool, and it just means that if you need a bit more length on your waist belt, you've still got some padding, so you can do that on both sides. This one pulls out here as well, just like so. So then you're going to do your waist belt up, And if you've got these annoying straps that are dangling around, you can just shove them in underneath the little pocket at the side there, which is quite handy, stops them flopping around and getting in your way. Okay, other parts of the harness, you've got a chest strap, which goes across here, also has a little whistle. This is good for, just pulls in the shoulder strap so you don't get chafing down the side of the arms here. And then finally, these straps are often overlooked, but these are called load lifters. If I just turn sideways and pull one in, you'll see it brings, I've taken up the slack there, and then if I pull more, it will bring the baby carrier towards me, which means you're bringing the weight towards you. So if you're going uphill, it's quite good to have these pulled quite far forward. As you're going downhill, you might want to release them a little bit. The other thing that's worth noting is if you've got a ponytail or something, it can be quite annoying if this back section here might hit the back of your head. If you just release these ever so slightly, it can just give you another ½ centimetre or so of room. It makes it more comfortable for you to carry. Okay, so let's talk now. You've fitted the baby carrier to yourself. Let's just talk about storage. So you've got hip fin pockets here, one on either side. There's zip pockets, and in this one on this side, hidden inside, is a little mirror. So the mirror is quite handy if you imagine you're out walking by yourself. You can just hold the mirror up and get an idea of what's going on behind you with your baby, because you won't be able to look over your shoulder very easily. So there's a little bit of storage there, probably for a mobile phone, that sort of thing. If we look on the sides here, you've got a little mesh stuff sack here, which also has a little attachment point if you wanted to attach a toy or something to that so it didn't get chucked out the baby carrier. It's quite handy. And then a mesh pocket down here, which is quite good because as you're walking along, you can just easily reach back and grab into that. And you've got the same on both sides. And if we turn it around, this is where most of the storage is, obviously. You've got this massive under-seat storage compartment here, which goes all the way back there. So if you're carrying your picnic or something like that, you probably, or a picnic blanket, that's where you want it all to go in there. And then at the top, this storage up here is actually surprisingly big. If I turn it sideways, you'll see how deep it is. So this is basically one great big pocket, which goes from there to there, there to there. And then over here, you've got a smaller pocket, again, just, I don't know, for a phone, or it's got a key fob holder, keep some valuables in there. And then another mesh stuff pocket. So they've really increased the amount of storage on this carrier now. So this is, you've got up to 36 litres of storage in total. So quite a lot if you can load up and carry with that. Okay, so now we're going to tell you about how to fit your baby. Okay, so you've got the harness fitting you. Now how do you fit your baby into the harness? So it's basically this section here, which is called the cockpit. And this is the Osprey harness. It's called a halo harness. I'll just show you how it fits because it's slightly different to a lot of baby carriers. So your baby's head's obviously facing that way. And then you're going to have the harness, and you put their arms through the two holes in the harness, and then the clips are actually behind their shoulders here. So there's two things you're going to want to do. You're going to want to obviously get the harness through their arms in the harness and clipped at the back, and also you're going to want to make sure you've got the seat at the right height, because you don't want your child sort of tottering up here somewhere. You can lower the seat, so as your child grows, you're going to drop the seat down, so you keep the head roughly about the same height from the baby top of the baby carrier for the whole time you're using it. So I'll show you that in a bit more detail now. Okay, so this is the cockpit view of the baby carrier, and the first thing you're going to want to do is get the height of the seat right. So all you need to do is reach at the back of the headrest. You'll see this clip here, pull that up to release it, and then just either you can push the seat down as far as it will go, like that, or you can grab this red toggle and pull it up again as far as you need to move it. And once you've got the seat right, you'll want to pop your baby in. You'll notice I've tucked the shoulder straps out of the way. So this is a sneaky little trick I'll just show you. I've taken the red clip and just shoved it up the back there, which is really handy. It stops it getting in the way. So you can get your baby in, make sure you get the legs down either side of the seat there, in the hole there and there. And then you're going to take the shoulder straps, and your baby's arms are going to go through them, and then you're going to clip it in the clips here behind their head. So there you go, that's the halo harness in situ. Now, if you have a bit of a disaster and this whole area gets very mucky, the thing with this new Poco Premium is you can actually remove the whole of this seat. I'm going to show you how you do it. First of all, you're going to want to shove the harness straps back through this hole here. And then if you just tilt it forward, you're going to reach underneath this little green section here and release the Velcro at the back on both sides. And then again, reaching forward, there's more Velcro tabs underneath the seat and at the bottom of the seat. So I'm just going to pull that off. And then finally at the back here, you've got 2 poppers. So you take those off and you can remove the whole of the seat like that and chuck that in the washing machine. If the whole area around here is really mucky, you can't remove any other pads, but what I would suggest you do is you pop this in the shower and you literally hose it down, and then just use a soft brush and something like liquid soap that's not going to irritate your baby's skin, just to get any other muck off if you've had a complete disaster on a walk. So that's a really nice feature for the new Poco Premium. One thing I forgot to mention earlier was the stirrups, which are down here. So these are to put your baby's feet in when they're sitting in the seat, just to give them a bit of support and keeps their legs a bit more flexed rather than just dangling down off the side of the seat. Okay, so a few other bits you'll want to know about before you purchase this baby carrier. Number one, we get asked a lot if it's hydration system compatible. So if you can put like an Osprey bladder or a Camelback bladder or equivalent down inside the baby carrier, and yes you can. It slides down here and then you'll attach the top of it with this red buckle here, and then you can take the hose out and it can go through this loop here, through this loop here, and then you can store the bite valve in that little pocket there to keep it out of the way. So fully hydration compatible. And also let's talk about a really important thing, the sunroof. So the Poco Premium comes with the sunroof included. It's stored in this pocket at the top here, which I'll just open up. And then you can pull the sunroof out and you can take it out completely now. That's a slightly new version. So if I just put it on the side there, I'll show you how to fit it. So you've got a big Velcro strap here and another one across the back. So I'm just going to slide it in until the Velcro sticks, as you'll hear. And then on the back here, inside the pocket, you've got this little sleeve here, and we're just going to pop that onto the other side of the Velcro there. Okay, and then simply all I'm going to do is take this loop here and attach it to this toggle, like so. There we go, that's one side done, and the same on the other side. So I always think the Osprey sun covers are really good actually, because they come a long way down the side as well, so the sides of your baby's head's really well protected as well. So this is UPF 50 rated along the top and at the front bit here. So that's the sunroof. Now if you wanted to get the rain cover as an extra, it doesn't come included, but that would fit over the top of the sunroof. You have to have the sunroof up there first. If you look at this video here, we'll go into that in a bit more detail. And likewise, if you wanted to go travelling, and particularly on a plane with a baby carrier like this, Osprey do a carry case. And again, we've done another video. If you click up here, you'll see that when we look at the practicalities of taking one of these on a plane. So finally, I just want to talk about the fabrics that we've used here. So they're 100% recycled, and the DWR, so that's the durable water repellency, the bit that beads the water off, is PFAS free. From January 24. So Osprey have made quite a few little tweaks and improvements to this and improved all the fabric as well. So I hope you've liked this video. If we've got loads more videos comparing this carrier to the standard Poco and other brands as well. So please feel free to have a look through all of those and get a lot more knowledge. But if you like this, I'd love it if you could hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Many thanks.